Greetings, Integra Therapy family. Thank you for joining me again. How are you doing? I really hope that you're managing to find some rhythm, some pace of life that allows you to stay well and healthy, moving, engaged with your body, engaged with other bodies, your family, those who are around you, in meaningful and resourceful ways. I'm hoping that maybe some of this material is adding value to your experiences wherever you are. And today, I've promised you something really juicy. I've got something really juicy, particularly for those who are working long hours on their desktop, on their computers, on their laptops, on their mobile devices, their tablets, whatever it may be. And in particular, many of us don't have a desk set up at home. It's very difficult. And so how do you manage to do your work? On the sofa, in the bed, on the kitchen table, maybe on the toilet seat. Who knows? But it's very tricky for us to really think about all the best practice behaviours that we might adopt in a normal office, that hopefully you're able to adopt in a normal office. So it might be that this period where you're not in an ideal setup, that you're finding that your body's becoming more stiff, maybe in the regions of your upper back or your lower back, and that you've had issues there previously that may already be emerging as you've changed your working environment. So this is really particularly important for those of you who may experience that, and do pass it on if you think this may be helpful for others who are doing lots of work with their computers. So before we start, I'm just going to do a quick warm-up. Finding a firm chair so that your feet are on the ground, your buttocks are nicely nestled into the back of the chair. You can do a little wiggle to check to see where that you are. These are our foundational points for this video. And I'm going to invite you to take a deep breath in. Take a long releasing breath out. I'm going to invite you to do the dance of the shoulders. You're going to dance in the other way. Call it foxtrot. Call it quick step. You may want to roll them quicker, and in quickening you add a little shaking. Shrug your shoulders and sigh out. That was a real burst of effervescence. Did you feel that? So we'll begin. What you'll need to do is now I'm turning to the side so I can illustrate what I'm asking you to do. You will be facing in the same direction as I was facing you before. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with our spine fairly in an upright position. Remember from our previous video, what we're going to do to start is to bring our chin towards our chest. Our chin, not towards our chest, our chin towards the back of the throat. That lengthens the back of the neck. What I'm going to do then is use my eyes to look at my nose and to look at my breastbone. That already has set up a nice bit of tension in the top part of my neck, just beginning to creep into the top of my shoulders. I may want to stay here. Maybe that feels helpful. But I'm going to just continue the journey so I can show you the whole movement sequence. So now what I want you to think about, I'm just going to come out of this to explain. You want to think about curling like a fern. And by that you visualize one vertebra tipping forward on the other vertebra, so you begin to curl. What that might look like for you is we start with the chin in, the eyes to the nose, to the breastbone, and then we continue curling the upper back until, and hollow in here, and we're really going to come into a slouch position. We're not coming forward. We're just collapsing on the spine as much as you can go. And that's as far as I go. I'm still using my eyes here. And then you may start to feel pulling further down into the middle of the back. If that's the case for you, wonderful. Then you just notice that response. Then you take your hands and you interlace the fingers. Then you move the hands in front of you, you turn your palms away from you, and you firmly push your hands, palms away from you, away from your body. And at the same time, you hollow the chest. So what you have is this movement. With the arms and the chest, you have this movement. So again, eyes to breastbone or belly, hollowing the upper spine. We create a round circle here in between our arms, and we firmly push away. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So you may already feel tension in anywhere in your middle of your back where your shoulder blades are, maybe a little bit further down, but that's generally where most people experience the tension. I want you to explore. You're going to lift your arms up, and you will notice a change of the emphasis of the tension. It will maybe move lower down. As I begin to lower my hands, still with this firm push, I also now begin to feel the tension move more up towards my neck. I want you to explore where you are finding your sweet spot. So what I mean by sweet spot is, now I'm near or very close to, if not on, that part that has been tense or that part that has felt uncomfortable. This is your sweet spot. And I want you to stay here. So now, when you found your sweet spot by moving your arms around, you breathe in and out 3 to 5 times. Now here is the bonus. What you may do is venture to one side or the other, depending on where your sweet spots are. So if, for example, I had more pain on my right shoulder blade and stiffness, I will venture over to the right side, just a slide over. And you'll notice it brings up the right side more into focus. You feel the tension more there. And then you still got space to explore. And by exploring, I mean, you may tilt your body more slightly. You'll drop your left shoulder a bit. Do you see what I did there? I'm still looking down, by the way. I dropped my shoulder a little bit here. I dropped my shoulder a little bit here. Now, if by doing that small adjustment, you find an even sweeter spot, I invite you to stay here. Or any spot that feels related to your sweet spot. So you have spots. You have your sweet spot, you have your sweeter spot, and you have your sweetest spot. All of those spots are relevant, and I want you to find and discover those areas that feel connected to you, to where you think the central region that is problematic for you. So I'm inviting you to explore. You can slightly drop the shoulder, you can slide to one side, you can actually begin to descend here. And when you find a spot that's helpful, you stay and breathe 3 to 5 times. And you will continue doing this little dance, this journey, just discovering where you feel you need to focus your attention. You may want to do the other side if you have issues on both sides. When you've finished this maneuver, you're going to release your hands. Now you do it slowly. You are still looking at your breastbone. Now you release the eyes, but don't lift the head. You look to the top of your thighs. You will notice things are moving around in very interesting ways in the back body. Then you can use your hands, if they're in the right position, to slowly uncurl the spine. And I invite you to pause. And it's really important to pause here. It's a very strong stretch, and you don't want to catch yourself with a cramp because you've moved too quickly. A lot of tissues involved, and they need some time to reorganize themselves to find their resting tension in order to be ready to activate again with active movement. It's important that you do this slowly as you transition. And you may want to readjust your shoulders. You may, of course, want to introduce a wiggle. So that's working in the middle section of the back. That may be enough for some of you. But I'm going to give you a bonus here. So often the middle back issues come in tandem with the lower back issues. Maybe or maybe not. It might be that you just have lower back issues, in which case this is helpful for just you. So we're going to start again. Chin is in. Remember the eyes, looking at the nose, looking at the breastbone. I begin to curl. So we set it up in the same way. I hollow the chest. The eyes are at the breastbone. When I can't go anymore, I interlace my fingers and I turn them inside out so the palms are facing away from me. There is a pressure, a movement of my chest away from my hands. I now, at this point, this is where it gets different. I begin to go forward. I'm still using my eyes here at my belly button now. And I begin to descend towards my knees. And here, you're more likely, keeping your chin in, you're more likely to encounter tension in your lower back. Again, when you found a sweet spot, you want to breathe 3 to 5 times. You may need to explore to find sweeter and maybe the sweetest spots, whatever you feel you need. If you have pain more on the right side, you would explore over to the left side. If you have pain more on the left side, you explore over to the right side. And every time you find a spot that's relevant, stay and breathe 3 to 5 times. I'm just going to accelerate this now, just to save time. So you will continue your journey exploring different regions of the back. I think I need to come back and do this because I've got a sticky bit here. If you find that you can't feel anything at this point, you may need to widen your legs. I will widen your legs and go a bit further down. If you are unable to feel anything at this point, then perhaps this is not the exercise that is going to be right for you in this moment. So when you've finished, release your hands. You're still looking at your breastbone or your belly button if you can see it. You release the head. And you just look at the tips of your toes. And you pause and wait. It's very important how you transition. Then you place your hands on your thighs. And then you use your hands pushing up your trunk, reverse curling, and your head comes last, and you wait, and you'll notice many responses perhaps happening in your back. But generally speaking, the feedback that I get is that it really is as if somebody's just opened a bottle of champagne in your back and gone, all the blood rushes there, there's a real opening and awareness of your back body, there's more blood coming into that region. It's a real satisfying experience to have. I'm hoping that you find the same satisfaction. So when you feel comfortable, you'll just gently introduce more movement, micro movements to resettle. And of course, I invite you to wiggle on your sitting bones. There's always an opportunity for a wiggle. And that's it for today. I hope you find it helpful. I find this a really, really powerful exercise. How do you find it? I'll be happy to hear from you. So see you again for the Daily Dose. I look forward to being with you again. Please be well. Thank you for joining me. And bye for now.